In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up your conversion tracking for Google Ads if you're an e-commerce brand using Shopify. Now, this is going to be the simplest and most reliable setup possible, and I'm going to show you every single step along the way. So without further ado, let's get right into the content.
I'm going to be walking through my guide here, this Ultimate Conversion Tracking Guide. I'm going to walk through every single step on video, show you guys exactly how it's done, so there's no ambiguity whatsoever in how to complete this process. So this guide will show you exactly how step-by-step to set up a comprehensive conversion tracking Google Ads for your e-commerce store on Shopify. This is solely for Shopify stores. If you're looking for a setup on any other platform, I'll be releasing those in the future, but not just yet. So sit back and prepare to have your conversion tracking frustration relieved forever. I know it can be a very difficult process. Now, before we get started, there are a couple things we just need to check on. If you have an existing dysfunctional conversion tracking setup, you'll need to make sure to remove any references to the setup in your Shopify settings. Make sure to check the theme.liquid file in your Shopify theme settings and remove any references to Google Tag, GTM, GTag, or similar. Residual tagging can sometimes, but not always, cause issues with new tag setups. If you don't have any tagging set up yet, that is perfect. This process will be even more straightforward for you. And also, if you currently have both a Google Ads MCC, so manager account, as well as a sub account, make sure to carry out all of the following steps in the sub account only. If you have just one Google Ads account, don't worry about anything I just said. You are in the right spot to get started. All right, so first step, let's get everything set up in our Google Ads settings. So head to the Google Ads platform and then go to Conversions tile on the left and select Settings. Ensure you've accepted the customer data terms in the drop-down menu. All right, we'll head over there, go into Convert Goals, Conversions Settings, just under here. And we can see that we have accepted the customer data terms. I'm just going to quickly reload this to get rid of this message. As I mentioned, we have accepted the customer data terms. And then next up, we need to open the Enhanced Conversions dropdown and ensure that we have selected the Google Tag Manager as your user provided data setting. So again, to Enhanced Conversions, Google Tag Manager is selected for our setting here, our user provided data, and you just click Save after you change that one. And then that is all you have to do in your Google Ads settings, is make sure those two are set up and ready to go, and then your settings will be clear. All right, next up, we want to set up the actual conversion actions themselves in Google Ads. So to do this, we want to head over to the conversions section and then select the summary tab and then create conversion action right through here in these screenshots. So I'm going to go summary, under goals, conversion summary, and then create conversion action. All right. Now, the next step is to select the conversions on a website option and click continue. If you're asked to enter your website URL, then enter that URL in order to continue. So we go conversions on a website, bang, I've already got the URL in here for this account. And then we just click continue. All right. And then select purchase for the conversion event and then click set up. All right. As you can see in here, purchase and then set up. All right. And we want to go create a manual event, as you can see over here. Create manual event and title the event purchase-GTM and then click use event. So I'll just do that exactly as I have inspected here. Copy that. Purchase GTM, put that in, use event. Perfect. And then we go save and continue. Bang, that's done. All right. And then after we have done that, we want to go and select the Use Google Tag Manager tab on this page, right? Then head over to your notes and paste the following templates. So first of all, like I said, use Google Tag Manager, right? Now, before you do anything here, I just want you to quickly go over to the document as I've got, and then just copy this like I do right now. Just go Control-C, copy these highlighted, these bold titles here, and then go into a blank Google Doc and just paste them down, right? Conversion ID, purchase label, add to cart label, begin checkout label, right? We've just got that sitting there in this blank doc. You can do a Notes app doc, Word doc, wherever you like, right? All right, now we've got those pasted across. What we want to do is copy our conversion ID and conversion label and paste them into this template beside their respective sections, right? We'll need these later. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy across conversion ID. So we can highlight that, copy, go over here, paste, and let's go back. This is the conversion label, right? Copy this. And then this is the label for the purchase. Remember, we're setting up the purchase event right now. So we put that in there as the conversion label for the purchase. Just like, it doesn't like to paste the right way, but it's okay. There you go, just like that. All right, perfect. Now we have both of those copied across. We're going to use those later. So do not close that document, leave that open, and then just click finish. Bang, just like that. All right. Now select the conversion action again. Fix that up right now. Then click settings and enter the following settings for your conversion action to make sure that all of these are accurate, right? So we're going to go select it just here. This is the new one I just created. Let's go 3 to decide it because I've set up conversions a few times. Go to settings, and then we want to make sure all of these settings are aligned, right? So primary action, name, purchase GTM, used for every conversion, every 90 days, 30 days, 30 days, data driven, blah, blah, blah. You can run through all these, pause the video and have a quick look if you need to. But I'll walk right now and put them in. So primary action, use different values for each conversion. Default value doesn't really matter, but just make it 1. Count every conversion. Click-through window, 90 days. Engage view, conversion window, 30 days, save. View-through conversion window, 30 days, save. All right. And then attribution data-driven, enhance conversions, make sure that's ticked. And then you're all good, hit done. Just like that. That is your purchase event set up in Google Ads. All right, now we need to repeat steps 1 to 9 for 2 more conversion actions using the following settings for each event. These will be your actions for add to cart and begin checkout tracking, right? After creating these actions, paste in their conversion labels and into the add to cart label and begin checkout label respectively. You'll not need to copy across conversion ID as it remains consistent across actions. All right, let's do that. So I'll quickly walk through and do all those steps for you now. And I may speed up the video here just to make this a little bit easier for you guys. But I will walk through every step there. All right, now that's everything done with the 2 additional events. As you can see, I just used all of the settings within this table here. So for the add to cart and then for the begin checkout, we use all these settings, very, very similar settings. The only difference is now, after creating these 2 actions, we want to go back to the conversion summary tab, click on add to cart, then go to the settings and change its optimization to secondary, right? Now we're going to be doing this first for add to cart. We click on it, we go to settings, we change it to a secondary action, because this is not primary, you don't want to count towards revenue. So your secondary, just like that, we hit done. And then we want to go back to the guide and repeat the step for begin checkout, GTM conversion. So we go to the same thing again for the begin checkout, go down to here, begin checkout GTM. Once again, we want to set this as a secondary action. We only want the purchase conversion as a primary action in the account. That is best practice for every single e-commerce store. You only want the purchase to be your primary action. All right. Now, congratulations. You have set up all of the necessary items within the Google Ads platform. So now it's time to head over to Google Tag Manager for the next step. All right. So Google Tag Manager setup. Now we've set up the conversion actions in Google Ads, we need to set up our Google Tag Manager account. This will act as a messenger between your Shopify store and your Google Ads account. Luckily, I've already created a template that completes 90% of the work for you. So this step will be much, much easier. Let's get started. All right, so go to tagmanager.google.com. I already have the tab opened up here. Log into your account if you have one. If you do not have one, create a new account and a new container. Then you want to head to the admin tab and select import container. So like I mentioned, under the admin section here, you'll start off on workspace, just click admin, and then you just want to click import container, and you'll be brought to this screen here once it loads. All right, now, in order to use the conversion tracking template, you will need to download my template from this link here. Now, this link is available within the document. Once you go to this conversion tracking guide, which you can find just down below in the description, if you go to this conversion tracking guide, you can download the full template, which I have created for you, which will allow you to install all of the necessary events in your Google Tag Manager without any extra work, all the variables, all the conversion events, all of the necessary pieces of the puzzle. Otherwise, you'll have to set this up yourself if you do not use this specific template. So I would recommend going ahead with this one. What I'm going to do right now is click that and download it for you guys. This is what it looks like. And you just want to hit the download button up there. You can see that is now downloaded, right? Okay, now we are going to head out of this. We are going to go back into our Google Tag Manager, and then you're going to select the conversion tracking template I just showed you as a file to import, and then select the option to merge and rename. This will prevent you from overriding any existing tags in the account. Right? So we want to go in here, we go choose container file, downloads, most recent download, and then we want to go merge. And we want to, as I mentioned before, just here, we want to go rename to make sure that we don't get rid of anything you may already have in there. All right, and then we just want to go add to workspace, just like that. Add to workspace. And now you'll see everything from my template labeled with Kraken in front of it, so you know what it is. Now, after that, you want to go into your workspace tab, then in variables and select your conversion ID variable. All right, I'll go along once again, workspace, variables, and then we want to select, it pops up, the conversion ID variable. All right. Now what we're going to do in here is going to go into variable configuration, change the XXXX value to the conversion ID you saved in your notes and docs earlier, and then it's saved in the top right. Okay. So just like this, we're going to click on this, see the value here. Now we go back to our doc. We get the conversion ID that we got before, take that back, paste that in, and hit save, just like that. Super easy. All right. And then next up, we will repeat those exact same steps for the add to cart label, begin checkout label, and purchase label. And I'll do that for you right now. So if we head back in here, so we got the purchase label, open that up, go in here, copy the purchase label, go back here, paste in there, save. All right. And then next up, we'll be using the add to cart label, copy that, go back here, paste that there. And next up, the begin checkout label. And paste that there. Perfect. Now all of your individual IDs, those are the IDs from your Google Ads account, right? So now we've essentially linked Google Ads into Google Tag Manager, and now Google Ads and Google Tag Manager will be communicating with each other, right? Now finally, you want to click submit in the top right corner and then publish, right? This makes sure that all of your changes in Google Tag Manager go through and you don't lose the work that you just did. So hit publish. You can skip this, it doesn't really matter. And then you will see all of your new work has been published in the account. Perfect. All right, so we can now close that window and let's go back to Workspace. And the last thing you want to do in here is copy the string of letters and numbers circled in red. So just stop there and keep this in your notes or doc because we'll need it in the next step, right? So, sorry, wrong level there. We go back here. This is what we want to copy. Just highlight that, copy that, and just paste it down here in your paste it like that. And your document. There we go. Just that one. Perfect. And then we are all done on Google Tag Manager. Congratulations. That is the second step done. So now all that's left to do is configure your Shopify store settings. We are almost there. Congratulations. All right, let's do it. So Shopify configuration. Log into your Shopify store. Open up your settings by clicking the cog in the bottom left of your screen, then open the custom events tab and then add custom pixel in the top right. So you want to go settings down here, open that up. Then you want to go to customer events. And then you want to, like I mentioned over here, you want to go add custom pixel in the top right. And we're just going to call it Google event tracking. All right, now that you have that, if you are not advertising in the EU, select not required for customer privacy permission. If you are, select required and set up your consent management accordingly. If you don't set up privacy permissions in EU, your tracking will still work, but you'll risk violating data protection laws and being fined or punished. So you should set up consent mode, but it will still work even if you don't set it up. Now, like I said, do that depending on whether you're advertising in EU or not. Then select data selected qualifies as a data sale under your data sale tab, just according to the screenshot here, right? So go in, permission, go not required, because this is in a US example. And then we go data collected qualifies as data sale, boom. All right. And now we go down to code here. So next step is to grab, well, first we're going to delete all the code in the box that's existing, right? So go into here, delete all this, just like that. Then enter the following code, but with the highlighted portions replaced by your own values. You'll need to swap out your GTM tag, which is the string of letters and numbers you copied in the last step, starting with GTM. And you'll also need to replace the country codes that correspond with your product feed in Google Merchant Center. And you can find this in the product ID column of your Merchant Center products tab. It will be the 2-letter country code following Shopify _ as per the image below. You only need 2 letters of the country, not the following string numbers. If you don't have GMC, don't worry about this. So you usually would have a GMC if you're running a e-commerce store, but if you do not, don't worry about it. If you do, just make sure that you're using the right 2 letters from numbers with, the two letters after your Shopify in your product IDs and Merchant Center. So all you have to do is go to Merchant Center, look at your product ID, and you'll see 2 letters in here representing the country. In this case, it is US, right? Now, this tracking script, once again, it is in the document here for you. So if you would like to get the tracking script, go down below and get this conversion tracking guide where you can find this script and you can use it, right? What I'm going to do is open up here and copy all this across. Right, select everything in this box here. Don't select JavaScript, just select everything else in this box. Hit Control-C. And then, like we say up here, enter it into the box over here. Okay, sweet. And now we can see it's in there. Now, like I mentioned, there's a few things that we need to swap out before we can finish this. So what we have to do is we have to swap out all the highlighted parts, right? So GTM XXXXXX. Then you'll swap out GB. If it's not Great Britain, you got to swap it out to US. If you're US, for example, you got to swap out this one here and this one here. So there's 3 country codes you got to swap out and 1 Google Tag Manager, right? Now, go back in. We can see we got the Google Tag Manager here. Now you're going to get that from the document. Remember, we pasted it across this bit here. Copy that. Go back to Shopify. Paste that right here, just like that. And then scroll down, and we've got to find 3 instances of the country code. Here's the first one, GB. Place that to US. This is an example again, if we're using US products. Again, there you go, US. And you got the final one down here, US. All right, perfect. Now we have done all that. All you have to do is click save at the top right of your screen to save the custom pixel, and then click connect in the bottom right corner to connect your pixel. Let's do it. Save, connect, and connect. Boom. And that's it. That is everything you need to connect your conversion tracking. You completed all steps of the conversion tracking setup process. Great job. You should be all clear to start tracking how many times your customers from Google Ads purchase, add to cart, and begin checkout on your website, right? Now, make sure you give your new conversion tracking actions 24 to 48 hours to start registering values, depending on your ad spend and store activity. The first events start coming through, will be add to cart events, followed by begin checkout events, and then purchases. If you've waited 48 hours and you know that events have come through Google Ads, or you know people are coming through Google Ads, they're adding to cart, they're beginning checkout, they're purchasing, but something's not working, please feel free to email me at analytics@crakanthorp.com, and I will try my best to help you resolve your issue. I'll try and fix it up for you. Also, feel free to send to max@crakanthorp.com, and I can put on there as well. Once you verify that they are processing values, you are good to go, and it's time to start scaling that account. I hope this helped you set up a functional conversion tracking system. Like I mentioned, if you want to use this exact guide with every single step laid out, please go to the link down below, pick this guide up. You will get the templates along with the tracking code, all the GTM templates and the tracking code, both included in this one. And if you have any questions or any suggestions for future content, please leave them down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you.